Hi ladies, hi gents. I want to share a video with you today, and it's a design team project for Wild Orchid Crafts, the Wild Bunch. And what I decided to do is, I'd been asked a few times how I had altered some of my Wild Orchid Craft flowers on different projects, and I kept saying yes, I'll do a tutorial. And so what I thought is I would do a tutorial of the different ways to alter the paper flowers in one hit rather than doing separate tutorials on them. So I'm going to give it a go and hopefully it'll work out, and well, we'll see. Okay, so these flowers here have all been altered in some way, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through them one by one and show you them individually. So I'll just move it to the side, and as I show you them I will actually do a tutorial on each one as I go. So if I just push those over there, let me grab that. Okay, I'm going to start with the easiest ones. Let me look. What's this one? This one. Okay. So this flower is the Tuscany roses, and this is 35mm, and I absolutely love these. They're so beautiful. Actually, if I zoom in a bit, sorry for the shadow, but it's a really dull day. So these are 35mm Tuscany roses, and the product code is QVR081, and I've used a few of these. So there's so many different ways that you can alter your paper flowers. So I'm just going to pick out a few and try and show you how I do them. Okay, so this particular one I've just distressed with distress ink. So let me just show you, which I know lots and lots of you do already. So I'm just going to do them and show you what I do. Let me move that to the side. So I just take my flower, and I have these little finger dabbers. You can use makeup sponges. I just find these easier because they sit on your finger, and I found these on eBay. So you just take your ink pad. It can be any colour or any type of ink. This is just a distress ink, which is milled lavender, and I just brush over the edges. Actually, I should hold it, maybe zoom in a bit more just so you can see. Okay, so I just brush on the edges and add the colour as much or as little as you want, so you can see. All over the edges where you want it. So you can do it really lightly, or you can do darker tones. So it just brings out the edges of the flower. Of course you can use darker inks as well, you know, if you want to make them look a little bit more so this one I'm going to use a brown ink, and because it's a darker colour I do just dab a bit off on the paper, just so to build the colour up rather than going in too dark at first. I hope this is showing up well enough for you. I always worry about doing tutorials in case it doesn't show up as well as it should. So this is using the brown, so again you can add as much or as little as you want. So that's the brown. And it just adds definition to your flower. So that's just using your inks or distress inks. So those are the three that I've used ink on. Okay, so let me put them back on there for you. Okay, next one, I'm trying to think of the easiest ones first. Okay, this one, again, it's the same flower, the Tuscany rose, and this one, obviously it was white. Let me just show you a white one next to it, because so you can see the difference. This one I just sprayed with pink mist, and we've all got different varieties, different makes of mist, so any of them, just give your flowers a spritz. You can also do it with your paper leaves. Again, you know, the same with the distressing. Oh, I've got two stuck together here. Okay, there you go. So just like with your distressing, you can just do the edges of your leaves just to blend them in. I'll show you that next to that, maybe it'll show up better. You know, a bit more on there. So you can do your leaves as well. So this one I'm just going to spray with a mist. So I did pink on this one. What I'll do is I'll do a blue on this one, I think. Just give it a shake. And we've all got, there's lots of different brands of mists, and of course you can make your own. Let me just move those out of the way or they'll get sprayed. So I'm just going to do this really quickly. Oh, a bit close, sorry. I normally use it in a box, but for the sake of this video I'm doing it really quickly. So you can just see the blue. I was a bit close, so I've got a bit of spots on there, but they will dry. And give you a... I'll let that one dry because you probably can't see it very well. And I've given it a bit too much, I'm a bit too close, but I don't want to put it all over my desk. That's better. And of course the paper will soak the ink up. I've made a right mess on that one, but never mind. You get the idea. So that's the blue. And they do dry more evenly, because obviously that's the pink. But I will show you that once it's dry. So I'll just set that one there, and my poor leaf that got completely splattered. Let me just move this sheet of paper out of the way. I don't know how everyone else sprays theirs, but I do have a box where it catches it all rather than doing it on my desk. Okay, so that's the spray. Done the distress. Another very simple one is adding pearls onto them. Just sticky flat back pearls can make them look so cute. Which I used one of the trellis roses in pink tone for this. And the product code is MKX092. And I also used the pearls actually from Wild Orchid Crafts, which are these, which come in the white. This is the white, cream and tan. And the product code for this is MKX507. And I just use these. They're teeny tiny. I think they're 3mm, these. And all I do, I won't do the full flower because you'll get the. All I do is I use a pin to lift my pearl up and just sit it on the flower. Hang on, I'm doing it. So I just lift it up with the pin and then just place it on the leaf like that. And of course you can do this with the rhinestones as well. I just think that looks really cute. And they're so, you know, it's such a simple thing to do on your flowers. And you know, this kind of thing that you can sit and do while you're watching TV or a film. You know, and you can do a load of them at the same time. So that's just how to alter a rose, just putting your flat back pearls on them. And that's one that I've finished. And I've left the centre. I didn't want to put them on the centre, I'm just putting them on the outer leaves of the rose. And it just gives it another dimension. I will finish that one off, but not on video because obviously it'll take too long. And again, you can do that on your leaves as well. You know, you can just pop a few on it at the tips. She says. I've got one that doesn't want to come off. Okay. So you can just pop some on the tips of your flowers that are going to be seen, because once you put your leaf behind it, you'll only see the tip anyway. Because a lot of the time I do actually take the leaves off the back of my flowers and use the white leaves. And I will pop the product code for the leaves and the pearls and that down below as usual. Also the link to the store. So that's the pearls. Okay, what's next? Oh, painting. Okay. So this is a trellis rose in the orange tone. Product code is MKX093 and these are the 35mm. And somebody asked me how I whitewash my flowers. Well, a lot of the time I actually use gesso, but you can use white acrylic paint or you know, anything like that. So I wanted to use a bright colour just so you could see. Let me show you the orange against. So this is comparison. So that's before and that's after. You know, and it just tones it down. If you don't want something so bright, you can tone your bright colours down. So I'm going to do this pink one. And all I do is I dry brush. So I take some gesso on my brush, I put it onto my paper and dry the brush off. Hang on, let me use that because you see I just rub it onto my paper and then dry the brush off. And then I just start in the centre and start rubbing the gesso over it wherever I want it to be. Let's take a little bit more, dab it off, and then just keep going. And this is one of my favourites. I love gessoing flowers and whitewashing stuff, you know. Well, you know I do. I do it in quite a lot of my projects. And you can do your flowers beforehand, or you can do them once they're on your project. It is easy to do once they are actually on your project as well. Some people water their paint down and do it that way. I like to dry brush them on because the paint dries a lot quicker. Because if you add water, it soaks in obviously to the flowers and takes longer to dry. But either way, it looks good. and just do all the petals that you want done, because you can have, you know, the darker colour peeping through. Okay, so let me show you that next one that hasn't been done. So it just tones it down and gives it a real... I just love the finish of the whitewash, I really do. And of course you can then spray your Glimmer Mist on top of that if you want. So that's the whitewashing. Okay. And then of course you can paint your flowers as well, different colours. Let me take a white one. There's a paint, I've got pink. So let me show you one. I've done one somewhere, this one. So this one I painted with a pearlescent paint. You see it's a pink pearlescent paint. It's so gorgeous. And again, just like the whitewashing, I just put a blob on my sheet. And I just dry brush the paint on. Again, you could just do the tips where you want a bit of colour, or you can paint, sorry, you can just do the tips where you want a bit of colour, or you can paint more in. I use a thin brush because then if I want to paint more inside the flower, I can just, you know, push it down there and paint. It just means that you can change your flowers to match your project in the exact same colours, you know, or if you only buy white flowers, you can alter them in different ways to get your colours, or, you know, or you've got your dark colours and you want to lighten them, you know, it's just different ways to use what you have in as many different ways as possible. Okay, I think that's enough. I just love how they turn out. I mean, these flowers just take so well to paints and other mediums, they really do. So that's that one. So that's painting your flower. Okay, let me move this sheet out of the way because I need another. And I'm just using this really cheap printer paper to do these on because I'm quite messy when I craft. So okay, the next one I want to do is the Glimmer Mist, which is like diamond dust. So you can see, I love how these look. So that's it next to the flower. And lots of you probably already do this. So with mine, all I do is I take some matte Mod Podge and I just paint it where I want the dust to stick to, all the edges of the leaves. Put a bit much on there. Just dab it over. Everywhere you want it. and then just get your glitter or diamond dust. I use diamond dust, and I just have it in this little salt shaker, and do it away from the glue because otherwise it'll stick to my glue on my sheet. And I just sprinkle it over, and then just tap off the excess, and then you've got a beautiful sparkly flower. Really stunning. I do love doing that with flowers. I love diamond dust. I'm just going to move that. I won't waste it. I do actually put it back in my container. Actually, I'll do it now. Use the sheet again for something else. Okay, so I think there's 2 left to do. Right, so this one, let me lift it up and show you again, is one of the Tuscany roses. Now this one, what I've done is I've used Flower Soft on this, and doesn't that look so shabby? I absolutely love it. And this is a mixed colour Flower Soft. It's the Sweet Pea. If I just in case you haven't seen it before, this is, you can get it in single colours or mixed colours. So this is the Sweet Pea, which is a mixed colour of pinks and greens. Do it back up, and it's quite tightly compact in there. So what I do is I rub some out onto a sheet of paper before I do it. Like this. Okay, so I'm going to take one of the white ones, so you can see it. Okay, I've got brushes everywhere. So again, I just use my Mod Podge, and I just a bit more generous with it because obviously these fibres need to stick to it, so you need a little bit more of the Mod Podge, but because it's matte Mod Podge, you don't get that shiny glue finish that you get on some glues, and that's why I use the matte one. But any other glue, well, you can use any other glue, but some of them you might get a slightly glossy finish to the glue. Dab it on your leaves wherever you think you want the Flower Soft to stick to. Sometimes you might have to redo a bit, and for me the way I found easiest is to actually dip my flower in the Flower Soft. That's just the way I found it easiest. So I just roll the flower in the Flower Soft like that, so you get like that. I've got some edges there that I haven't got, so I just give them another dip, and then I tap off the excess. How's that looking? Okay, I've got a tiny bit there, I'd like a bit more on here and here. Gosh, this is so fun and so messy. It'd be worth doing quite a few at a time if you're going to do this, because it is a bit messy. But look at that, how shabby does that look? And of course, if you think you've got too much, you can just brush some off with your finger to bring bits back out, like that. And then you leave it to dry. How cute is that? I think that looks really shabby. And of course this one's dry, so next to it. They are so cute. So that's your flower soft, and I will put that back in my jar. I'm just not going to do it right now. Okay, and the last one I think is the embossed one. Yes, I know I've done that on my Christmas tag. So this is embossed on the edges with, this particular embossing powder is Aged Rose, it's called. You see it's just embossed. So I am going to do a different colour this time. Let's get another flower. I might do a couple of leaves as well this time, because I do love embossing. Okay, so I'm going to take another one of these Tuscany roses, and I think, where is it? I will use the Shabby Green embossing powder. I give it a mix because there's gold, white and green in there. Okay, so I'm just going to use my little perfect medium. You can get lots of different types of embossing pads, but this one, the size of it is good for flowers. It's just a little one, and I give it a really, really good coat all over, just pressing the pad all over the leaves so that the embossing powder will stick. So I will sprinkle over the flower first before I do my leaves. Give it a chance to stick to it, and don't worry about how much you use because you do save it. So I'm just going to rub over this one because, oh, my pads. I'll just do 2 of these. I need to get a new one of these pads. This one's disintegrating. I've had it a while. Okay. I love this colour. Okay, so then just shake your excess off. That looks yummy. I'm just going to set that to the side, because I do clean up my embossing powder as I go, because if you heat over it, you'll waste what's below it. So let me just tip this back in the pot. Okay. And of course then you need to heat set these. So I am going to use my heat gun, and it is a bit noisy. So if you want to turn down your volume, it might be worth doing it now before I turn it on, because I'm not sure how to block the sound on my video. So warning, heat gun going on. So that's the flower, and that's the leaf. And they look so cute, and of course you get that beautiful sparkle with this particular embossing powder because it's got the glitter in it. I can't remember, the antique rose one does not have glitter in it, so I'll show you that as well. Well, it kind of does a bit, but so that's another great way. I love using the heat embossing to alter them. I just love how it looks. And you can make some beautiful, the amount of different colours of embossing powder you can get, you know, you can make some beautiful embellishments. So that's the embossed flowers, which I love. That's why I kept it till last. It's my favourite thing to do, is heat embossing. It's such a, I'm going to say therapeutic process to do. Well, I think it is. So I'm just going to put all the flowers out so you can see them. And I hope showing you all the different ways worked out. Oh, you see that's nearly dry now, the blue. Still a way to go, but so there's so much fun to be had with your paper flowers and altering them and changing them in so many different ways. There really is. And some of you may have other ideas that I haven't thought of. These are just the ones that I could think of offhand before I started the tutorial. But yeah, I hope it helped. I hope I answered a few of the questions that I've been asked to do tutorials on. I just love this. I think that's so cute. Really, really cute. So if you've got any questions, please ask and I will try and answer them all. And I hope you've enjoyed this paper flower tutorial of altering your paper flowers, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.